Yeah, well, now I am recording, so now I am actually a member of this podcast again.
Well, welcome back, Matt. Welcome to my podcast. I've renamed it to Elite Ori's Ass, which is both biographical and I think it's really going to sell us on the explicit tag, which we haven't used so far. So
We basically just use it to say cranking hog over and over again.
That's right, yeah. So,
Like-
that's when people search for explicit, they want the cutting stuff, so I'm giving it to them.
They're looking for all that ass description that money can buy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Elite Full Restore, your favorite Pokemon podcast over 10 episodes as of the end of this recording in the future.
I got sick. I'm sorry. It's not my fault.
Well, it's like, illness, work, severe depression, just the usual things that keeps one from recording a podcast. But we said we'd record in February, and it is still February in both of our time zones currently.
It is February 28th for the next 2 hours, so let's do this shit.
We will get this in. It's not going to be up in February, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Because there's no way in hell I'll ever edit anything that fast.
You should know better by this point, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So, my Pokemon playing in the last month has been me actually using the Festival Plaza.
My Pokemon playing so far has been me turning on Sun in order to get beans, because I'm always thinking about those beans, and I've been playing through the Red, Blue, Yellow virtual console games, and they're ass, and I'm going to get to that in a minute with my hot take.
We have a whole segment laid out for that later, but we actually have an organized episode structure for once, so we'll go piece by piece through everything. I wanted to start with a little competitive update. One of the things that we were talking about when we had Patrick on was the fact that Pokemon's scene doesn't seem to have much coherence to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of it is just official Pokemon run events, which are infrequent, especially if you live in far geographic areas, or if the main competitors in the scene live far apart, you're only getting the good matches around the internationals and the Worlds tournaments. So, a couple of esports leagues have started running invitational tournaments that are invite only, and they basically just grab people who are not only good in the Pokemon scene, but also just, popular, so that they each bring their own audiences in to watch these tournaments. There was a Geico tournament last weekend, at which our friend of the show, Aaron Cybertron Zeng, competed and got to the finals.
Yeah, this is interesting because it brings up what we kind of touched on this when Patrick was on the podcast. But it's the more TPC events that we have that aren't directly run by TPC, the better, because that means they don't have to stretch their staff out as much as they do. And I don't know if y'all know how many people work for TPC, but it's very, very few. And maybe a 10th of them work in the quote-unquote esports segment, so it's good that they're finally relinquishing their miserly hold on tournaments, so we can start doing this ourselves. So very good.
Yeah, they really loosened up the what it takes to become a Pokemon professor, which is what they call the person who could run tournaments and stuff. I don't actually know if the Geico tournament was for championship points.
I believe it was. I remember seeing something going around the Nugget Bridge things, and it was a CP after this tournament kind of thing. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because it's the amount of CP yield from a tournament depends on the number of entrants. Right. So it wouldn't be too high for an invitational tournament that only had 8 people in it. But at the very least, there was cash prizes.
Yeah. Plus, we got the whole Megastones bit, which we'll probably get to in a second.
Well, those are for the
those are the online ones,
in-game competitions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the Geico tournament was a resounding success. There was a ton of people watching it, relative for Pokemon, obviously, because we're not going to be pulling League of Legends numbers anytime soon. But it's still very, very encouraging, and I really hope the build up throughout the season leads for a really, really productive International and Worlds. On that note, the U.S. International Championships are June 30th to July 2nd at the Indiana Convention Center. So, hey, I could go to Indiana. That's not that far. That's a northern state.
Indianapolis is fine. Here are some hot hints. If you do end up going to the wait, is this the national championships or the international championship?
The international, the ones that are 4 times that they run once every 4 times a year.
Right. Is there
like the international, or there's basically replacing nationals, I'm pretty sure, this year.
Well, I highly recommend, if you have the chance to go to that, even if you don't feel like competing, and whether or not there is an LCQ, which I don't think we have confirmation of yet. But it's still really fun to go and just like play and just watch everyone compete. You usually get like free stuff just for participating too. I have like an old ass shirt from like when I went to Nats back in 2010 or something like that. It's a really fun time. Everyone in the community is super sweet, and lots of cool people there. Plus, Indianapolis has like the biggest like freestanding Dunkin' Donuts that I've ever seen, and it's worth the horrible like searing desert like winds, because there's no mountains to buffer anything like a normal like fucking city. But it's a good time.
And the Pokemon regionals, there's one in Toronto that's running the same weekend as like the comics festival I go to every year. So that's going to be like a really, really busy weekend.
Wow, comics. Someone's a nerd.
Okay, you're on a Pokemon podcast with me. Don't worry about it.
Shut up. Anyway.
And then Worlds are in Anaheim, August 18th to August 20th.
Which is actually doable for me. But I'll never go.
It's like fairly well. You have to gain the championship points to be eligible for it, and like just imagining it's gonna be just like last year, where like non-competitors like don't get to just show up and watch.
Yeah, but you can still like just go and have fun. It's still cool.
Yeah,
you should get like a Jurassic Park thing going, like they do for like Toronto Raptors games, and just like raise hell in the parking lot until they let us in.
Yeah. Oh my god, just get a ton of nerds outside. That sounds horrible.
Hell yeah. Sounds very stinky, actually.
So the all the Mega Stones that were unavailable in the game are being distributed gradually through competitions. We took too long to record this episode, so if you guys didn't register for the competition that just ended last weekend,
like me,
you won't be able to get the Beedrill or Mawile Mega Stones until they just eventually release them later, which they said they'd probably do. It's just early access. If it was exclusive, it would be stupid.
Yeah, it's a good way to get people started in the online competitions, but if they make it like, these ones are only locked and we have to check your trainer ID to see if you're in a competition, that's going to get really out of hand really fast.
Well, it was annoying to sign up like every battle competition.
Oh, yeah.
But the new battle box system makes it a little easier, because you can just register stuff without having to move them into your battle box all the time.
You can do multiple teams now, is that right?
Yeah, you can do 3 whole teams.
Good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I just grabbed a bunch of like Tapus and Ultra Beasts and stuff that I'd trained, because like they're the only things I've trained so far. Because I just plopped them into the EV training place in Pelago.
Oh, well, that's makes it easy now.
I had 35 Pokemon to EV train at the same time. And all I had to do was make like this. I made like basically a spreadsheet for it, but I basically passed everything through in like 4 rounds.
That's
like it took
easy.
me a couple of days of like actual past time, but like the amount of time that I actually had to spend doing the EV training was like less than an hour.
Yeah,
it was less than an hour total. Like just that includes me like calculating where's the best time to take people in, put them out, how many rounds I have to do for everything. It was like really, really easy, all things considered.
Yeah.
The next competition's a single battles competition. You're able to use Pokemon. You're able to use Pokemon from the Kanto and Alola Pokedexes, and you get the Pidgeot and Steelix Mega Stones for this one.
Pidgeot.
I really love Mega Pidgeot, so like I'm definitely doing it.
I forgot what Mega Pidgeot looks like.
I just know it has higher special attack and no guard, so it has.
Oh, he's got the crazy hair. Yeah. Okay. He like everyone talks mad shit about like emo Absol, but like this is like emo, like this is like American Idiot Billie Joe Armstrong. Like this is what they were aiming for. Cute is what we aimed for. If you get that suggestion, I'm gonna send you a Pokemon card in the mail. If you get that reference, is what I meant to say.
Just leave a comment on our web zone, and Ori will send you a
Yeah,
Pokemon
tweet
card.
at me if you understood that reference. Not only are you a piece of shit human being, but I will literally send you. I am staring at a Chandelure Pokemon card from like 4,000 sets ago. I will send it to you in the mail.
Moving on to more Festival Plaza related stuff. The global mission number 3 was the first global mission that was actually successful. The first 2 were resounding failures.
Yeah, what was that?
So,
the last 2 were like, what was it, like 10% participation or something? Like 10% to the
like,
goal?
the first one was with 10% of goal. The goal was to catch 100 million Pokemon, and most people couldn't actually figure out how to register for it.
God, that's amazing.
So that was the problem with that one. The second one was to do Pokemon in the island scan, and that one was just limited by the fact that you could literally only get 2 a day at most.
Oh.
Like, at the absolute best, you could only get 2 a day. So that one got to roughly 60%. This one, number 3, was GTS trades, and we went all the way back to the days of Pokemon Black and White 2 and resurrected the Magnemite coil.
All the way
so
back
everyone,
to Black and White too. I feel so fucking old now. Don't say it like that.
Okay, one, I am older than you, so don't give me that shit.
Very true.
And 2, basically, the Join Avenue in Black and White 2 is very similar to how Festival Plaza runs, in that it's mostly inscrutable until you get it going. And the only way you could get guests to show up in Join Avenue was to trade Pokemon on the GTS, unless you were seeing people in person very often. But like Pokemon fans are a bunch of loner nerds, and they didn't have Street Pass at this point.
Yeah.
So basically, your only chance was to do trades on the GTS, and someone wanted to figure out what's an easy way to trade a lot of Pokemon on the GTS. And someone just figured Magnemite's close by, Magnemite's cute, it's kind of technological, so it fits with this kind of thing we're going for here. And then its name in Japan is literally just Coil, so they called it the Magnemite Coil. And English and Japanese players, and eventually everyone else, were just, you put up a Magnemite and ask for a Magnemite.
Can I talk some mad shit about the GTS real quick? Like, I know, like, back in the day, like, we used to, like, put up rare Pokemon for whatever reason and just do, like, level 9 Lugia or whatever it is. Let me tell you something, friends. This has gotten really old really fast. It's been like 3 gens now where I'm staring at Pokemon that I need to finish like a section of my decks or some shit. And I just want a Petalil. Like, help a sister out. Like, I can't.
I mean, you can literally
anymore.
set it so that 1, Pokemon that are legendary just don't show up.
Oh,
and
yeah,
2,
I'll do that, Matt. No results found.
Yeah, but like, Petalil is everywhere. It's not hard.
I literally like said the first thing. Okay, I can't think of a Pokemon. Haunter.
Do you want me to just?
There we go.
Do you want me to? You want me to just give you one? I will give you one.
Embarrassment. No, here's what I want you to do. I want you to load up the GTS right now, and I want you to literally just search for a Scizor and see if you have anything in your boxes that you can trade for a Scizor.
I'm literally going to do that, but I'm going to like continue through this part of the episode because you are derailing me here.
Yeah, that's my job. I'm the comedy relief.
So like the goal, yeah, because I'm just talking about a bunch of boring shit.
Yeah. Like, what
So-
do you want from me?
When they were trading a bunch of Magnemites, I kept finding them in like different Pokeballs, and I literally just decided at some point that I was going to collect Magnemite in every single Pokeball that you were able to get it in. So that's the thing I did.
I'm gonna trade you one it's gonna be a hacked one in a Safari Ball.
You can actually get one in a Safari Ball. You can't get one in a Park Ball or a Cherish
Sorry,
Ball.
I meant a Park Ball. The ones from what's it called?
The bug catching contest.
Bug catching contest.
So yeah, the Sport Ball is what they're called in Park Golden Source Server.
The Sport
I know.
Ball.
Like, you know, it's just a sport ball.
Hey bro, let's play some Sport Ball. Throw a touch pass for the home team.
Anyway, long story short, we completely, like, and utterly crushed that goal. Like, there was over 4 million trades done. There was, like, a stretch goal where they gave you a friend ball because they know that the nerds who play this game want those, like, limited-use Pokeballs, and a lot of them.
A friend ball and a bunch of points.
And they also give, like, rare candies. And then, of course, like, a ludicrous amount of festival coins that you can use to level up your plaza. Which is useful if you want, like, bottle caps, because I have so many bottle caps from using this stupid plaza. The next mission literally started today, and it's to collect battle points in the battle tree, and it's already beaten.
What was the goal?
The goal was 250,000 battle points in the battle tree.
Oh, Jesus.
And the stretch goal was 500,000, and both of those were smashed within the first day. See, the thing is, like, at first, no one was organized enough, but now we're too organized. Like, it's ridiculous how well organized everything is. So, essentially, if you just go, you have to register for the mission in the festival plaza, and then you just go get 3 battle points from the battle tree. You'll get 5 rare candies, a heavy ball, and between 2,000 and you get either 2,000 or 4,000 festival coins, depending if you've actually registered your game or not.
All right.
So it's really, really, really good. I am now loading the GTS, so I'm gonna see what I can get for a Scizor. Hey Ori, did you know this fun fact that Scizor and Scyther, along with Pinsir, are the only Pokemon legitimately available in all 27 in-game Pokeball variants?
What? Dream Ball? Yeah, I guess they are. What about the red one?
Because
what's the name of
the Cherish Ball,
Yeah.
Both Pinsir and Scyther were distributed with their hidden with a Mega Stone. Like, sorry, it was Pinsir and I think Scizor were distributed with a Mega Stone.
Huh.
And you were able to get them in their special ball. That's a horrible phrase. I'm never saying that again.
In their special ball. Hey, Matt, do you have a charm ball for me? I mean, a cherish ball? See, you literally just told me what the name of that was, and I already forgot. That's fine.
Yeah, I got 2. Anyway, okay.
2?
Here's what people want in exchange for a Scizor.
Okay.
Porygon 2.
No.
Lugia.
No.
Latios.
No.
Lunala.
No.
Blastoise.
Well,
Moltres.
no.
Silvally.
I only have one.
Zapdos.
You're not getting that. Zapdos, maybe.
Dialga.
No.
A different Scizor. Reshiram.
No. What? No.
Giratina.
No.
Sorry, Giratina levels 1 to 10.
Yeah, see? Yeah. It's fucking garbage. I don't understand what.
Which, that actually is possible.
A level 1 to 10 Giratina. No.
Yeah, you can get it from Heart Gold and Soul Silver in that event where you bring an Arceus to the unknown ruins, and then Cynthia shows up and brings you to the Tenjo ruins that are like way north Johto, and Arceus will make a Palkia, Dialga, or Giratina for you.
At level 1?
At level 1.
Why?
A little baby.
Because
it's creating. It's just a little baby, and you can actually do that for multiple Arceus as long as they're different.
Weird. That's weird.
We got Kyogre. We got another Scizor.
Okay, what have I? Okay, you've proved my point. Like what was one of those was a legendary, and most of them were level 1 to 10. Like,
yeah,
it's fucking. I'm sick of it. Stop it. This is ridiculous.
It used to be so much worse, though.
It really did. It's gotten better, but not by much. Like, I would say like maybe 20% of the like trade requests now are like stuff that I can actually fulfill after like putting everything in bank and into my Sun cartridge. But like it's still it's such a clusterfuck. I hate the GTS so much.
The QR code teams that they promised when the game was launching are finally out, but don't use them because it actually embeds your GameSync ID into it, and people can use that to access your account.
What the fuck?
So like there's 2 like really prominent data miners on Twitter. There's Cyrus M and there's Kazawar. And there's Pokemon PhD. There's 3 of them. They're the guys that they've essentially been doing the bulk of the data mining, and Kazawar is the guy who made PK Hex. So he has like a really intimate knowledge of like the Pokemon save files and everything. Oh, okay. And essentially the second the QR code teams came out, they like looked at one and then like extracted out the data, and like they embed identifying information into them, because the only way you can actually use, like, you can't just take a picture of a QR code for some reason. You have to be logged into your Pokemon Global Link account. So the QR code that you're using,
right.
So the QR code that it generates contains their information, but also your GameSync ID, so it can sync it to your game, which is a really stupid way of building it.
That's really weird. That feels like someone can like reverse engineer something and like
send
something from. I mean, I'm sure it's not like possible because that.
Well, it's going to be like when they figured out the GTS exploit in 4th gen that allowed you to think you were taking your Pokemon back from the GTS, but it was actually just injecting a Pokemon into your game.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
which was a
Okay.
super good exploit. I loved that.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Either way, I'm still gonna link a one team that was given to me, essentially just to farm battle points in the battle tree, because it's a Durant with entrainment and dig. So you use entrainment, you give the opponent truant, and then you just dig. So it never hits you.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, it's you again. Goodbye. Oh, it's you
Yeah.
again. Goodbye.
Because the thing about that's the one thing that's most exploitable about the AI in Pokemon games is that they rarely switch.
It's like
even
you.
if it
It's
would
like
be
you're like falling asleep, and someone like is like an inch closer to you every time you wake up. But It's like you're narcoleptic, and like you can't control it. It's like a horror movie where you just keep falling asleep, and the monster keeps getting closer to you.
That sounds like owning a cat. That's what owning a cat
literally
is.
Owning a cat. Yep.
Pokemon Bank is out, so I'm sure you all knew that by now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. We're sorry for being bad.
We're gonna focus. There's one thing I just want to say first is that if you put a Pokemon in Bank and don't download it to your Sun and Moon game, you can still download it back to X, Y, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Once it has been in your Sun or Moon game, you can't send it back. You can put it in Bank, but it can't go back. Because essentially what they do is they're converting the Pokemon, like the individual Pokemon file, to the new format, and they did not put a way to convert it back because why bother? Most people are going to be transferring things forward.
Just assume it's been like through Pokemon Transporter, like you're just You're
but then you're going to be like me, and you're going to transport all your legendary Pokemon forward for the purpose of EV training them, and then forget that most of the moves that they need to be useful are tutor moves, which are not available in the current generation.
Oh, that sucks. Or you can just be like me, where you just not bother with that, send everything forward, and then trade in all your games for that sweet money.
Yeah. I never trade in games. I have a problem. I
like
just hoard
money.
them like a gremlin. One thing is that you can transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on the Virtual Console, which can net you some sweet exclusive moves. You can get Double Edge on a couple of Pokemon with Reckless and Rockhead. You can get Body Slam on a Sheer Force Tauros, which is like a much stronger move than you'd get on it otherwise. You can get Amnesia on a Poliwhirl and thus get it forward to a Politoad, which is pretty good for a rain team. The only issue is that sometimes when you evolve Pokemon that didn't evolve till later gens, after you've transferred them, it will recognize them as illegal Pokemon, which is super fun, and I really hope that has been fixed, because I don't think it has yet. Ori wanted to talk about how bad Red and Blue are, so I'm going to let them do that.
Okay, these games are held together by duct tape, and I cannot stress this enough. Like, there are so... I want you to... Okay, dear listener, here's your homework for this evening. I want you to go to Bulbapedia and look for list of glitches in Generation 1. And the ensuing page is like something you cannot like parse in one sitting. Like it's ridiculous. Like from the second you open up Pokemon Red or Blue or Yellow, when it shows you Nidorino, it plays Nidorina's like sound, and you just know it's all going to be downhill from there. Okay, I accidentally, and this is a true story, I accidentally did like so there's a specific glitch in Red, Blue, and Yellow where you essentially make this thing called Glitch City, and you can do a bunch of different stuff to like mess with your game. And so what I accidentally did is when you're in Pewter and your Pikachu like falls asleep because of the Jigglypuff, it stays there, and you can just walk around and be like, oh, that's kind of funny. And if you're off screen and walk around too much, like if you want to, I don't know, like talk to the cable lady or just like walk around, it will like fuck your game up. And it got to the point in my Yellow cartridge where I tried to go and evolve my Alakazam, but when I went to save, my played time counter said it was 255 hours 59 minutes, and then it would like load up the trading menu and then lock me out. And on the other cartridge that I was trading with, it like connected to no one. Like it connected to a random person who had a Nidoran male and nothing else, and their name was E apostrophe. and like I almost like broke the other 3DS. I am not kidding about this. It is so these games are so bad. There's so much. Like you can run these games like back before Minecraft was a thing. These games taught you how to like run arbitrary code execution because you could like you should look up some of like the speed runs that were done at like Matt, have you ever seen like GDQ or anything like that? Like shenanigans and those other guys?
Pokemon Yellow completed in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, like there's one my favorite guy is named Shenanigans, and he literally has like, you can look it up on YouTube. I think he did it last year or the year before that. He literally finished his Pokemon Green in 45 seconds. Like
Great.
He gets it, walks up Route 1, does a couple things, and then like just like walks right, and then he's in the fucking Hall of Fame with a fainted like Charmander or some shit. Like it's just these games are straight busted. It's ridiculous.
Man, one of my favorite things with arbitrary code execution is that someone figured out how to like alter like item interaction location tables. So like location tables for stationary Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you can, like that's how you do like speed runs of like 151 runs where you like just fill your Pokedex. And you can like you literally just you overflow your item table with the coin case, and then you just like you essentially just throw away potions or Pokeballs until you're at the thing you want. Do the teleport glitch, and then it just spawns.
No, but like
stupid.
Even better. I mean, even better than that. So someone figured out how to do an arbitrary code execution to make it so that Mew actually appears under the truck.
Yeah, that's Shenanigans. That's the same guy. Yeah.
That was Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay, and like the best part about it is that he made it so that it transmits when you do link trades. Like it's a
Is it really?
Virus.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it even works on the virtual console copies. Obviously, that Mew can't be traded forward because the only Mews that are counted as valid have like a very specific OT and ID and stuff.
Well, you can change that. You essentially just have to. You'd have to
set it up there at the start, and then
you would name your
ID.
person like GF or whatever, and then like do the execution for your trainer ID, and then is secret ID in Red and Blue. I don't even remember.
I don't think so.
It wouldn't even be that hard then. You would just essentially soft reset until you got the right trainer ID, name your guy Game Freak, and then like just...
I mean, there's literally 100,000 possibilities still, even if there's no secret ID.
Well, you could... Yeah, there's I'm sure there's some way. Like, you can like bypass evolutionary stones if you like fight with like a Growlithe or an Onix. Like,
oh my god, I love that.
It's so stupid. There's so many stupid fucking... I hate this game. I hate these games. They're the worst. Great Balls are better than Ultra Balls. Like, did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know that? I hate that. That's the worst thing. You don't even need to buy Ultra... Okay. More exclusive glitch news that's been around forever. So, in the catch rate for Red and Blue, the Great Ball has a value of 8, and the other Pokeballs have 12, and it is not explained why this is the case. But essentially, a Pokemon with 1 HP left, when you throw a Great Ball at it, has the same chance of being caught as having any hit point value of a half or less. Like, are you fucking... I hate these games, man. They're the fucking worst. I could literally go on about Red and Blue glitches all day because there's just moronic things. Like, it's awful. It's awful.
Are you gonna trade over some good guys? Like, or is there anything that you actually want to trade over that would be useful to you?
Well, I wanted to trade over, like... a Magic Guard Alakazam and like some other shit that's kind of cool. Like what else was on there that I liked? The not No Guard Machamp because that's not a thing.
It's not its hidden ability, so
yeah.
You have to get it. You get a Steadfast Machamp.
Yeah, fuck. What were some of the ones you did? Because I know there's one I can't think of it. I'm so heated about glitches that I.
There was the Amnesia Polytoad. That was the one I was most excited about getting.
That's
eventually.
a cool one.
Like Amnesia Polywrath. But yeah, the best one.
Ninetales. I like Drought Ninetales. I think that's cool, but that's just me.
Are there any good moves that it learns particularly from first gen?
Not
that
from
would be
first
good
gen.
to carry
No,
forward.
It's like one of like 4 Pokemon that learns Flamethrower, but like apart from that, like there's
it's not
nothing
really
super
helpful
cool
for
that
it.
knows.
Yeah, the fact that everything that you get from Red and Blue is locked to its hidden ability is kind of unfortunate for transferring Chansey over, because a Chansey and thus a Blissey with Serene Grace Tri-Attack would be super annoying.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Like 40% chance of random status with like a decent power stab move would be very, very fun.
Yeah.
You can get Tri-Attack on a couple of things with that, but a lot of things will learn it anyway, so...
What's that one? There's a couple TMs that I really like that are available in Red and Blue, and I'm not thinking of it right now. One thing I have noticed while playing Red and Blue, like, I caught a Staryu... Like, essentially, like, my goal for this, like, my run-through of Blue right now is just... I essentially blow through the game until I get a Staryu, like, south of Fuchsia at, like... You get it at, like, level 15... and save your Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Psychic TMs until then. And it essentially learns Surf, and then you can just deposit everything else in the boxes because it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Like, it just blows through the rest of the game. Like,
Man,
it's
that
so
reminds
good.
me. That reminds me of something crucial.
Something crucial.
With the, like, initial usage stats... and tiering for Gen 7 that we went over last episode, both Gengar and Starmie have lost their permanent OU status. They have been OU consistently Gen 1 to 6, and they both dropped down to UU. With
Starmie?
This
I didn't know Starmie was OU last gen too.
It wasn't OU at the start of the gen. It was OU by the end of it, though.
That's weird. It wasn't even like it just hasn't
I think
changed in a long time.
It had good. I think it had good tutor moves that it wasn't getting otherwise.
Okay.
Because I think that's going to be the case again, though. It's going to get some tricks back up its sleeve. It might end up back up there. I don't know about Gengar because he lost one of his prime possessions right there by losing Levitate.
Yeah.
But I'm sure someone's going to make Cursed Body work.
Yeah. Like we used Cursed Body a lot in. Whoa, what was that? Sorry.
Like 5th gen?
Sorry,
5th gen with Jellicent?
BattleNet just like freaked out at me. No. This was the Unova Dex year. Curse Body Jellicent was really, really cool. Like having like that 30% disable was really interesting. The problem is that Jellicent had the bulk to back Curse Body up, and I don't know that Gengar can really like rely on that because he's so fragile.
Well, I'm gonna say no, he can't because he's frail as shit.
Yeah, it's cool.
I feel like
there's
there's better
more
abilities
thematically accurate, but it's, I don't know about that.
There's probably a better ability they could have given to it, or like they could have given it something new.
What is it better?
Because it seems like they just slapped Cursed Body on it because like that's a thing it
He's
had.
Scary.
Like they could have given it Insomnia. That would have still been thematic.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a Gengar that's immune to sleep?
Yeah, I do like that one. Even
that would
like
be?
Bad Dreams would be kind of cool on it.
That'd be a bit OP because
Well,
he
wouldn't have access to Dark Void.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
I mean, Dark Void sucks now, as we've been over.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still better than Hypnosis by a long fucking shot.
Yeah, well, just because it can do doubles, but it's less accurate than Hypnosis now.
Yeah,
it's 50 accuracy. Recall.
What else would be good on it? Corrosion would be kind of cool.
I'm still mad, by the way, that Corrosion doesn't enable poison type moves to hit steel types, just poison status.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's stupid. This is like the 4th episode I've been mad about this in. Although it's going to come up in a discussion topic we have later.
Emergent.
So yeah, something poison paste would be cool too.
Really hold on, I'm rabbit holing this now. What other abilities would be good on Gengar?
Shadow Tag.
Illusion as a hidden ability might be cool.
Well, yeah, now that it doesn't have Levitate, they could actually give it a hidden ability.
Yeah, Infiltrator makes sense to me. Like that, he's still like glassy, but like it doesn't make him like completely borked. Like Noivern gets it, but she's still fragile. So
yeah, Crobat can make good use of Infiltrator as well.
Yeah,
but like. No, yeah, Gengar could make great use of Infiltrator just because it wants to be able to hit, right?
Yeah, like it like. There's not like a lot of situations where it would like not break a substitute anyway, so
yeah, but it's just you're hitting right through it.
Yeah, you're just smacking it.
Yeah, I really like that. That's something that they could probably consider later because they've shown that they will retcon abilities apropos of nothing. They don't care.
Yeah, that's why I want more. I want more Pokemon with Protean too.
They've literally there's been situations where they've had an existing ability and it literally changed. Because like for things like there was Dream World Chandelure, it had Shadow Tag, but they never released it.
Yeah, and then they changed it
and
to
then
something else. Is it this gen or was it last gen?
It was in 6th gen. It got Infiltrator.
That's
that
right.
gen.
Yeah.
But like there are ones where like they literally had the ability and it would immediately change once you transferred it. Like they changed Scolopede's hidden ability. I don't remember what it was before, but they changed it to Speed Boost. So if you had a hidden ability Scolopede, it would just change to Speed Boost.
That's cool. And I do like changes like that. I think that's really the fact that they're doing things like that and like making it not weird is it's very healthy.
Whereas, like, most of the time what they'll do is if they introduce a new ability where it didn't have one before, like if they only had 1 out of the 2 slots filled for their basic ability.
Right.
If you transferred them from old gens, they'd keep the old ability, but they had a chance to switch when they evolved. So that's true of Wingull. If you get a Wingull with its basic ability from an older gen, transfer it up, and evolve it to Pelipper, it could just switch to Drizzle.
Huh.
So it'll just end up with Drizzle. Because that's a thing it can do now, which is super good.
Interesting.
And that's how I managed to get an extreme speed Linoon with Gluttony, even though that is not a thing that would be possible otherwise.
All right, do your shitty Pokemon Go thing.
Pokemon Go. Ori's gonna vape through this one. I won't be too long. Ori, you can actually speak to this just a little bit.
I'll talk about it a little bit. That's fine.
Yeah. So me playing Pokemon Go now that Gen 2 out is just me remembering how good Gen 2 is.
Yeah, it's really
like there aren't stinkers in that gen. Like every time
really
something new comes up, I'm like, this is really good. The only thing is like, man, I wish all these Pokemon would evolve now and not in 2 years when they release Gen 4.
Seriously. The other thing it's really made me want, like, I like, so, like, my D&D group, like, goes, like, during, like, 10-minute breaks, they'll go on, like, poke walks and stuff, and so it's cool to see people, like, getting back into it and stuff again. I just can't play it anymore. But the one thing it's really made me want is Gold and Silver Virtual Console releases before this Switch, like, just destroys everything on the 3DS and everything it's ever loved.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we'll see how that goes. I think the 3DS is still going to be around.
I think it will be. It's too.
It serves it serves a slightly different audience.
Yeah, it does, and I think it's just made too much money at this point for them to like.
Yeah.
Well, and we say that every time with Nintendo consoles, like especially the popular ones, but like. I don't think it's a good idea for them to just drop it at this point in time because it has such an established player base now.
Like, well, I mean, like they merged their dev teams, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna drop the 3DS entirely. One thing that people found while they were data mining the Pokemon Bank update is that there's like different game IDs set for every source game, and there are game IDs set for the Pokemon, like the Game Boy Color Pokemon games. Like, they're not set to Gold, Silver, Crystal, but there's just 3 blank IDs that are sitting in there that are between the ones for Red, Blue, and Yellow and the ones for, like, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. So, like, they left the space there. It's still a thing that's possible. So, that's a thing that could happen. They've introduced a couple of extra mechanics into Pokemon Go to go with Gen 2, including evolution items. So, basically, these items are complete random drop from Pokestops, and you need them in addition to the candy to evolve shit, and it's complete fucking bullshit, and I hate it.
It seems like it, because it seems like it's just randomly spawned based on, like, where you are, and...
It's extremely rare for them to come up. Like, I got a bunch, but I was in Toronto for 3 days, like, swiping a Pokestop every, like, 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's the main problem with it, is if it seems like the RNGs for, like, everything still haven't been fixed. So, like, even if you're, like... by yourself and doing things, you're still gonna get just shit.
Just complete garbage.
Yeah, if you're in a group, even if you're like in a group around with other people, the RNG kicks in and like other people are taking the bad hits, and so you have more generations of good things.
Yeah,
I just don't like that.
There are actually 2 different ways to get Espeon and Umbreon in the game. So just doing random evolutions of 25 candy will pretty much, I think it always yields the Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon.
It does it the first time, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's with the nick. If you nickname them Tamao, that's Tamao, and Sakura, you can get Umbreon and Espeon respectively.
But it's still just that first time, right?
Yeah, okay. That only works for the first time. But you can also put an Eevee in like the buddy system and walk it for 10 kilometers. And if you do that during the day, like you hit that 10-kilometer mark of the day, it'll evolve to Espeon, and at night it'll evolve to Umbreon.
Oh, that's cool.
I kind of wish they did that for all the happiness evolutions, but they did not. So most of them are just evolved by candy. Like the primary thing, like they just mostly have evolution items for things that branch and for things that they want to be like relatively hard to get, like a Scizor.
Like Politoed and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Tyrogue, instead of making it so they have to have equal attack and defense to get Hitmontop, is just if
talking about the most bullshit thing ever, by the way.
Right? Well, in the games, like, you're able to adjust your EVs to make that work. Like, it's not too hard to get it to happen in the games. In Pokemon Go, it'd be completely bullshit because it's just IVs. They're completely random and you can't change them. So if your HP is your highest IV, which you can, like, when you inspect the Pokemon, it'll tell you, then you get a Hitmontop. It's easy. So, like, whichever stat is highest, HP gives you Hitmontop, defense gives you Hitmonchan, and attack gives you Hitmonlee. So that's pretty simple. Also, all the Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan candy got converted to Tyrogue candy. So if you're like me and you hatched like 3 of each of them, you're fucking swimming in it.
I'm rolling in it, bro.
And until, like, I think sometime next week, there are birthday hat Pikachus to celebrate Pokemon Day. Pokemon Day was yesterday, by the way. It's Pokemon's 21 now. Pokemon can drink in the States.
Pokemon, this bud's for you.
Yeah, boys.
Jesus.
All right. That's it. We got through Pokemon Go. Ori, you're alive.
I'm here.
And
I'm queer. Get used to it.
We just have one more little discussion topic. So, like, I read the Pokemon subreddit every day because, I don't know, I hate myself and I want to see people have bad opinions. But one thing that comes up often is people will do, like, little bits of, like, theory modding. Like, how can I change this? What could we change to make something better? And I've actually found, like, a lot of really, really good discussion topics, most of which I've saved for future episodes. But one that I found that was really good that we can do on this one is, what are some moves you think should have type matchup exceptions? So that moves that will act differently from the normal type chart in some way based on the flavor text of the move. The example that was given was Freeze Dry, which, as you may know or may not know, is super effective against water. Yep. Which makes it, like, 4 times effective against a ludicrous range of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like Ludicolo and Gyarados and Kingdra.
Yeah, it's cool. One of the other ones that I have actually, like, seen others talk about, Zach Cataquax brought this up. The Sky Uppercut move, it hits, like, fly and bounce and all that. It should really hit flying super effective. Like, it's just
I don't even think it should hit it. It needs to hit it super effective. Even if it just hit it neutrally,
yeah,
I would be happy.
Yeah, I think that's a good middle ground for it. But
yeah.
It's just it seems like a rare miss. Acid hitting Steel type super effective would be cool, but I feel like Sky Uppercut's the real miss here, especially if we have stuff like Freeze Dry.
Diamond Storm hitting Rock type super effectively, I think, is a fun thing.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, because, like, Rock hits Rock neutrally, which I always forget.
Diamond,
but, like, you know, just
Diamond, Matt.
Yeah, just going straight with that Mohs hardness scale right there. Someone brought up that Bonemerang should be able to hit flying types, and that just kind of gives me that brought me into, like, another idea, which is also a future discussion topic, which is, like, Pokemon should just be given a quality of either levitating or not levitating, like above ground or not above ground. They should remove the immunity to ground types entirely. Most flying types would just qualify for it anyway.
So you're saying stuff like that is like flying type but still rests on the ground shouldn't be. Okay, I see what you mean.
Like Doduo and Dodrio, all those guys.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, because then like, it's like you don't need to give flying type to some things that are flying.
Right.
You'd be able to just give this quality of not hit by grounded moves to a bunch of Pokemon, including Pokemon with Levitate, and then you could give Pokemon with Levitate different abilities to make them, give them more shit to do.
Well, like, at what point would that be, like, taken away? Because you could also have moves that have that same feature, like, doesn't hit levitating Pokemon while not being a ground move. Like, I'm trying to think of an example, but there are certain moves that, like, their flavor
would only affect the ground.
Right. So
like the terrain moves, like they'd be immune to terrain moves, for example.
The one I'm thinking of off the top of my head would be like
they'd be immune to spikes
Whirlpool
and toxic spikes
for some reason. Like that's the first thing I can think of. Like just something that's like rooted on the ground, and like that shouldn't be able to hit like a Talonflame. Like
so essentially this would just be like a new category that would work on top of the existing type chart,
right?
Because it's a thing that they're able to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like this, it's like the reason that people would say like the reason why Spikes was made a ground type move was so flying types could be immune to it. But that's not really necessary anymore because Toxic Spikes was there, and like you just say they're immune to this.
Yeah.
And so essentially, all it would be is one flag.
Yeah.
Like
no,
just
like
coding wise, it wouldn't be complicated. And then
thus,
not
at all. You would essentially just give it a different flag and like let it.
Yeah, exactly. And then moves like Bone and Meringue, Earth Power, all these would you'd just be able to use them because there'd be no reason not to.
Yeah, for sure.
Acid was one that was brought up a lot. Someone said Chip Away should be super effective against rock types. And I thought that one was just really cute.
I like that. Yeah. What else would be like? There are
like
some
most
like
of the
electric moves that I feel like should at least like hit ground move, like
Wild Charge.
Yeah, like that seems more like a tackle to me. Like it would hit it neutrally because like obviously the electricity wouldn't work, but it would function the same as takedown. So I don't know. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then also just like. It'd be fun if there was more dual-type moves, like Flying Press.
Yeah.
Flying Press is such a fun idea, but just such a bad combination of types.
Yeah. Does Incineroar learn Flying Press?
It fucking does not.
That seems like a hard miss. Like that's a missed opportunity. I don't like that.
That's an even bigger missed opportunity than the fact that it's exclusive Z move isn't even a real Moonsault because it's a forward front flip.
Oh my god, are you serious right now? Did you just do that to me?
A Moonsault is a fucking backflip, and he does a front flip. Like, how do you fuck that up?
Oh my god, I can't believe
it's like they've never even watched wrestling before. Like, they named their Pokemon the heel Pokemon. You think they're leaning right into it, but clearly they've never even turned on a wrestling match before in their life.
I'm so mad at you right now. So what would it be? It would be Scorching Suplex.
That works. That's fine.
There you go.
I mean, it's a dark type move, but
hire me, TPC. Okay, moving on to questions. Here we go. Colin Executor asks, oh god, here we go. If Machamp is the most powerful Pokemon, if all other Pokemon that are fighting type or otherwise, or dual type, they try to be even stronger and they get so frustrated they start to sweat, they furrow their brow, they really try, but it's not possible because it is so naturally strong by this very birthright. Everything that even tries is destroyed by the quest for power, working day and night and eventually wasting away, disappearing into the books as a failure while Machamp steals the light and shines so brightly in the annals of history. Sure. Doomed Entertainer asks... Wait, no, hold on. There's a different question. Okay. What would you do... This is really good. What would you do if Conkeldurr came to have its loan repaid, but you didn't have the cash? Just answer the second one. I need an answer to the second one. That's really good.
Okay, the answer to the first one is Cranking Hog, obviously. He has 4 arms.
Yeah, he's got 4. That's what he was going for. We all know.
The answer to the second question is I'd sledge his concrete, man. What's he going to do without his concrete?
You just break it. Like, you just break it.
And then he's going to go to make some new concrete, right?
Yeah.
But did you know that putting 2 pounds of sugar into 1 ton of concrete makes it useless?
I did know that, actually. Isn't that weird?
I'm gonna pour some sugar into his goddamn concrete. He's gonna try to go, like, bring his concrete over to build a nice new building. The building's gonna fall down. He's gonna fail his professional ethics exam. He's stripped his engineering certification. He's gonna lose his job. He's gonna lose his wife. His family is gonna leave him, and he is gonna be depressed and sad. He won't give a fuck about my loan anymore.
You're so angsty about this Conkeldurr because he literally just comes into your place of business and he's like, "Hey, I'm here to repay my loan," and he's paying you. And you don't have the cash.
It says to have its loan repaid. That is implying its loan to me.
No.
I don't have the cash.
Yeah, wait, he's repaying the loan. I think this is a serious like failure on the part of the English language because we've got a couple like negative, like double negatives in this question, and I don't think we're getting the full story. So
I assume the conkeldurr is collecting.
no,
because
no.
otherwise the question's not as funny. I go with my answer.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
Doomed Entertainer asks, which team boss do you think was the most interesting / compelling? Alternatively, who is your favorite team member? The answer can be a team boss, but it doesn't even have to be a name character if there's a grunt that sticks out to you. I really think that Lysander was the worst I've ever seen.
Complete fucking garbage.
He was ass. Like, I don't know if you've, like... I know you've watched the Nuzlocke run, but I don't know if like, all of our like listeners have like listened to or like watched Griffin's Nuzlocke run, and I highly recommend if you have like a desk job, just like set it up on YouTube and just like listen through the entire thing one day. But like some of Lysander's dialogue, I didn't even realize like until like listening to someone else play it. It's so bad. Like he calls you during like just in the middle of your adventure. He's like, I want to talk to you about how, like, just, like, the most random...
All people are disgusting.
Bullshit! He's like, hey, I know you just caught a munna, but I want to talk to you about how the world is a fucking wasteland because of people. Like, I'm trying to fucking, like, I'm just sitting here, man. Like, I'm trying to catch a Rotom. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
Congratulations on your gym badge. Do you have a moment to talk about genocide?
He's the worst. I hate him.
The question is, who do we like the best, though?
I know. I just like to complain.
Most interesting or
boss.
compelling?
I think Archie definitely had the best abs out of all of them.
Yeah.
And
him sexy.
Yeah, him sexy. Who else did I really like? I liked
I really liked Courtney and Tabitha, the magma admins that were in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, they're cute. Yeah.
Also, I think they might have been in the original too, but just not with like original spriting for themselves.
I would say that Ruby and Sapphire
admins.
Definitely had the worst like reason for global domination kind of thing, but like they definitely have the cutest character designs, and they were definitely like the most like charming, I guess. So I would probably say like any of them. I like Aqua just because I played through Sapphire and I liked Aqua, but that's just me.
As far as like their
admins were
actually being, as far as actually being compelling goes, I really did like N. I loved the story of Black and White, and like I like his like personal journey and the personal journey of like the actual boss of the team were obviously at odds with each other, and the fact that kind of played out in a way that he's like, well, fuck all this then.
Yeah.
Was actually super nice.
Yeah,
and I hope they bring N back in some form in the future. I also really like Lusamine. Or Lusamine. Or Lusamine.
Yeah, she was batshit crazy. I like that too. That was kinda cool.
And like I love that they have facial expressions now so they can like, convey it.
Yeah.
And then of course like her journey involved perfect precious angel Lily. So like perfect compelling journey for me.
Yeah.
Just like I loved it. I really liked their whole bit.
Yeah.
Their whole dynamic.
Sun and Moon were good games.
But just like I don't know why they just like decided to like keep mentioning this Professor Mohn and then like have us go to the Pokepelago and see that he's there. And why don't they know he's there?
Here he is, my father, Professor Mohn. He's like, welcome to Pokepelago. Have some beans! Like, what happened to you, sir? Are you okay?
My dad that went missing and my mom went crazy. Oh, he's right here. He's on an island that's in the same fucking tiny-ass region. He's right fucking there.
I know where he is. Do you want me to take me to him? Because
he's just thinking about those beans.
He loves beans. He just loves beans, and he wants to do all of your beans so he can make your island bigger. And he will not take money. He will only take beans that have been growing on his island, and he could get them himself, but he's too short, and his hat is too big.
Drew asks the important question. What are polytoads? What are they?
It's a great question.
What
are they?
You ever think about the fact that there are no other green frogs in Pokemon? Every other fucking frog is blue.
What?
Look at all the other frogs, and they're fucking blue. And Polytoad is there, and he is green.
What? That's wrong. No. Wait a minute. Oh my god. I know you're right, and I don't want you to be right.
Krogunk, blue. Toxicroak, blue. Seismitoad, blue. Like the pre-evolved forms of Polytoad,
right.
which are tadpoles, they're all fucking blue.
I just
so
googled
like
green
what
frog,
are
and most of them are green. And I don't, I don't see a lot of blue frogs.
what
Man, even
are Polytoads?
even Tentaquil is blue.
Tentaquil. Oh man. So Alex Leafcrunch asks, where does Tentaquil fit into the meta as of now?
Okay, here's the problem with Tentaquil. Like, I really love. I did some base stat calculations, and I didn't realize. Do you know he has 100 base stat in every single stat? It's ridiculous.
He's like functionally a legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that it's probably a really. I know what they're going for with flavor. Where at level 99 he learns Splash, but I really disagree with that. I feel like at the tail end of any like Pokemon's moveset, it should be his like best move. So like if we just switched Puke Blood and Splash, I think it would be like a much better moveset. And I feel like Puke Blood, like, it's a staple, you know? Like it's got to be on every moveset.
I mean,
feel like if
people
you work
will generally
for Puke Blood, then you're okay. But if it's Splash,
Puke Blood,
there's just no incentive.
Yeah. Puke Blood works really well in a doubles meta because it hits both opponents with a Blood Splash, and it reduces their special attack by just a normal amount, but like a double reduction to special attack is nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all. Sketch is a really interesting inclusion. I actually forgot that Smeargle was not the only Pokemon that learns Sketch.
Yeah, of course.
So it really opens up. You know, you've got stuff like it can learn. You can sketch Mind Reader to go along with Fisher. That's really dangerous.
You could just straight up give it V Create.
Yeah,
180 power, physical fire attack.
Yeah, it is a bug psychic though, so you can't really like it's not something that it's not gonna get stabbed. So it might be better used for something else. But I do like the inclusion of Sketch in there.
Yeah, it just gives it a little bit of versatility that you wouldn't expect from such a simple-looking blue frog spinny creature that pukes blood.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, of course, with the one thing that it can do with Splash on its moveset, if you transfer your Tentaquil up to Pokemon Sun and Moon, you can give it the normal Z Crystal and use Z Splash and get that 3 boost to your special attack. To your attack.
Didn't think of that. That's good.
Yeah.
Good
Z Splash, and then you could pop that Earthquake on there, maybe that Twin Needle. And V Create, you can get from Sketch. I think it could do some really, really good things in both the singles and doubles meta.
Pinkipek asks, what abilities would it be fun to see more of in the metagame, whether or not they're actually viable? I want more hail. So more snow warning. I want more of that.
Yeah. I like that they finally gave the double speed ability to Hail. So the only things that learn it so far are Alolan, Sandslash, and Sandshrew, and Cubchoo and Beartic both get it now. They're the only things that have it so far, which is a shame because it needs a better spread to actually be useful. I think the real thing that is needed is more Pokemon need ways to be immune to Hail, and Hail needs to have more passive benefits.
Yeah. Definitely. Like if it had something like that Sandstorm does for rock types where you get the
special defense boost.
That'd be really cool.
Like it could give it a physical defense boost to ice types cuz like it's just you're gaining like an ice arm, like it's just sticking to you and you're just getting some armor.
Yeah.
Like even it's just something like that cuz like God knows that ice types need as much fucking help as they can get.
For fucking real. Like let's not fuck around here.
Aurora Veil was a nice start, like a move that boosts the physical and special defense for your team. It could be used up to 8 turns with light clay held. The only thing is that Aurorus doesn't get Aurora Veil. Can we just talk about that and how fucked up that is for a moment?
It's such a mess. Oh my god.
It has like completely garbage distribution. But yeah, no, there's plenty of other abilities that I think could see more limelight and it would be a lot of fun. Now I just want to pop open a list of abilities.
One ability I really want to see more of is adaptability. The Porygon Z was like one of my favorite glass cannons back in 4th gen, just for like the fucking wonky shit you could do with Hyper Beam on Porygon Z, but like there aren't. What besides him gets that? Because I know it's not a lot.
Mega Lucario gets it,
Yeah.
and Mega Beedrill.
Yeah, but here's
gets
my
it.
counterpoint to that. Mega Lucario is bad, and I
Mega
hate
Beedrill's
it.
super good though.
Mega Beedrill's cool. I really like Mega Beedrill, but Mega
Eevee,
Lucario can beat me.
Eevee gets it as a hidden ability.
No, it's its second
which
ability.
you could.
Its hidden
Is
ability is Anticipation.
Oh, you are correct.
Yeah.
Corphish and Crawdaunt get it as their hidden ability.
Yeah.
So I
Dragalge
actually
gets it as its hidden ability, which is kind of cool because no one fucking knows what type Dragalge is.
Yeah, so you don't know what to expect. But yeah, no, Crawdaunt makes really good use of it because an adaptability Aqua Jet off of it is a fucking... It's just a bullet. It's really good. And then, of course, adaptability knockoff.
Ooh, that's cool, too.
That's super fun. It has like a somewhat good distribution. Young Goose and Gumshoes both get it. Let's have a look.
Infiltrator we already talked about, but I want more Pokemon.
I definitely want more things to have Infiltrator.
Or abilities like Infiltrator. Magic Bounce is one of my favorite abilities, and I love that people started using our Inanimate's Espeon after last season. It was so cool. One of my favorite movesets for him.
In the reverse, I want less. I kind of want less of those abilities that change your normal moves to be a different type and then powers them up.
Yeah.
Because like everything that has those are like stupid powerful. Analytics super fun. Boost
Analytic
move
is
power
really
with
cool. I used to run some like crazy shit with Analytic Starmie that was really fun. Like you gave it like a quiet nature and some other garbage, and it would like it was super fun. Color change would be really cool to see. I know that's stupid, but I like color change and Protean and like abilities like that fuck with like the actual physical typing of Pokemon.
Yeah, I kind of want to see the reverse of Bulletproof. So like it protects the Pokemon from some ball and bomb moves. I want something that powers up those moves, and I want Octillery to get it.
Hell yeah.
Because it learns like every single one of
Sniper,
those.
Sniper though, right? That's the crits,
it's
right?
okay. There's a lot of abilities that were introduced in Gen 7 that are like they'd be fun to have them on more things, but they're like so specifically tapered to the Pokemon that it was designed for.
One that doesn't have that issue and should like be on more Pokemon is Emergency Exit. I think that's really cool. Like
as if they made two of the same ability and then gave it two different like names and then put it on the same line of Pokemon.
Yeah, Steelworker will most likely be on some other shit too.
Some shit is getting Steelworker. I actually really like that as an ability. It's solving a different problem than my idea of like taking Pokemon with Levitate and just letting Levitate be a thing so you can give them other abilities. It's taking the opposite problem, is where you want 3 attacking types and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Which Pokemon has the most banging hairdo? From Burgermeister. Burger. Sorry.
Which Pokemon does have the best hairdo? So we could talk about like Blaziken's like 1970s Cher looks.
If that's your honest answer, you're dead to me. I want that to be clear.
Simisage's Elvis Pompadour, that's definitely up there.
Yeah. I got a sleeper pick. I'm gonna go Cricketune because you did say just best hairdo.
Yeah, mustaches count.
Yeah, I think facial hair counts. It's definitely Cricketune.
Bouffalant.
Bouffalant's good. Bouffalant's solid.
Yeah, like just how can you say no to the Fro?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like it's right up there. Let's move on to our final question. Dwellington asks, "Hey E4R, do you have any Pokemon YouTubers or other internet content creators that you recommend? I watch Aaron Zhang's videos religiously, and they are very good. Thanks and good job on the podcast."
Yeah, actually, my buddy, he used to go by the handle Evan Falco, but his name's Alex Agloza. He's a pretty big YouTube sensation, actually. I first met him at the Seattle Regionals back in, I think it was 2008. That was back when they were doing like single elimination, like garbage like all the time, and he was a super super sweet kid. He's gotten a lot better. He ended up winning nationals a few years back, and he is like one of the most like he has such a good like video presence, I guess you could say. Like he's very suited for like those types of like explaining battles and like doing play by play and stuff. And he's done commentating before, but he usually competes because he likes to compete, and I don't blame him because he's awesome at it. But yeah, Alex Agloza, he's really good. If you're into, I've watched a lot of GDQ like the last couple weeks, and so
Yeah.
Shenanigans is one of my favorite guys. But pretty much any of the guys from that group, and their name escapes me right now, but we'll probably have it in the podcast description later. But those two are two I've been paying attention to a lot.
Yeah, I was going to put down Wolfie Glick because
yeah, definitely.
He is just really good at explaining the fundamentals. He could be a little long-winded with it sometimes, but he will always, separate it. He'll make a video that's more accessible that's just like the battles, but he'll make the video where he completely explains everything in detail, goes over why he chose something, and also will go over what he did good, what he did wrong when he goes over tournament results. And of course, he is the current reigning world champion. Makes it a very good reason to keep up with him. I actually just started following a bunch of YouTubers like just through Twitter. You could look at people's following lists on Twitter if you follow them, right? I think you could look at them anyway. Just like scroll through our following list, because I've been following VGC people left and right on the Elite Full Restore Twitter, which is always linked in our description and linked on every single website where it's possible to link it. Please, more people follow our Twitter, because like our Tumblr has vastly outstripped it. I never post to that. But yeah, generally it just since the scene is building up to more like they're getting people who are well known in the community and good battlers to battle each other more often for prizes, for money, for glory of some kind. It's gonna be a lot easier to follow people going forward. Like, say you only followed Aaron Zhang, if you just followed him through the weekend, you'd have a minimum of 7 other people to follow, because that was an invitational tournament for 8. And everything is always related. Also, he was on our podcast. Remember when that happened?
Yes. Yeah. He was that episode 3 he was back
episode
in?
3. He was our first guest.
If you want to hear him like actually like break down like how he approaches battles and like team building and stuff like that, it's actually a pretty good listen.
Yeah, he also talked about a lot about his commentary, because that was what he had specifically just been doing, was doing Worlds commentary or Nationals commentary. I don't remember which one it was. It would have been Nats, because it was in June. Yep. Worlds wouldn't have happened yet. So that's it for the episode this week. We're coming to you
live from the future.
Yeah, relatively goofs light, I suppose, this week, except for some of our questions.
Yeah, we did.
But
okay.
We'll just leave with our usual thanks to Bulbapedia.
Give me a second. Yeah, okay, I got one. Pokemon cards are the focus of the Pokemon trading card game.
Thank you, and see you all next time. And by see you all next time, I mean you'll see me next time, but not Ori.
Yes, I'm getting married, next week, next Friday. So I will not be here for the March episode. We are hoping to have Zane in, filling in for me, and thank you in advance, Zane. I appreciate it, if you can actually do it. Otherwise, I personally will probably be back in April, because my schedule for March is obviously going to be fucking destroyed. So, hope you enjoyed my last appearance on Elite Full Restore before Zane replaces me.
Bye!